Hey, welcome to episode 10 of this vlog, and it is a new year. I just got back from a trip to Paris with my family celebrating Christmas. You'll be seeing more about that trip next week, but really wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about one of the practices when it relates to my anxiety of what I try to do to not let moments when anxiety is really overwhelming win the moment. So 3 words that I've got up here. The first word is stop. Like physically just stop. Not stop trying to think about it, but just, I don't know about you, but when I am anxious, I'm probably still doing something. It's not like I'm just sitting there being anxious. It's while I'm doing something, like over here, my brain is still chewing on stuff over here, and I just need to physically stop. One of the things I know I continue to wrestle with anxiety is the fact that I don't always notice when it's at play. And that kind of sounds silly, right? Like I'm not even aware that I'm anxious in that moment until I talk to people that struggle with anxiety, and then they know exactly what I'm talking about. And so one of the practices I had to start doing is actually stopping. That in that moment, rather than just trying to continue what I'm doing and trying to just like, come on, stop thinking about it. Like I just physically stop. And it's that act of physically stopping that helps me to kind of like reframe myself to get my head in the game. So stop. Secondly is just to breathe. There is so much research out there about the power of breathing, but even just for me, just coming out of a season where I was just wrestling through some anxiety, and I just would do simple things like breathe through my nose, kind of purse my lips and breathe out my mouth, kind of 2 seconds in, 3 to 4 seconds out. I know it may sound just like super simple and crazy, but just even for me, that just helps to kind of get my brain into a different wavelength, that all of a sudden now I'm moving beyond, okay, I'm acknowledging the anxiety, I've stopped, and now I'm just breathing. I'm just taking a moment to really kind of assess how is my breathing? Like, am I holding back? Am I kind of constrained in my breathing? But then the third word is focus. This is going to sound really silly, but in moments of greatest anxiety, I used to try to like do all I can to take my focus off of the anxiety. And that almost, in my case, I can't speak to anybody else, made my anxiety worse. And what I am learning, what I'm realizing, is that actually the exercise of saying, okay, so what if? Okay, let's play with this for a moment. What if the worst thing that I'm thinking about right now actually comes true? Because that's all anxiety is. It's acting as if the worst thing has already happened. And so for me, figuring in that moment of like, let's play the exercise. And then I ask myself a question. When I'm focusing on like, what if the worst thing happens? The question is this: would I still get up tomorrow morning? And 99.99% of the time, the answer is yes. Well, I'm still going to get up. And it's like, well, then it's not that bad. For me, I'm going to still figure out how to get up and move on. Now, this is obviously talking about just general struggles with anxiety, and I'm sure that if there's other people that need to talk with a professional doctor or a professional counselor about their issues, I'm just talking like general anxiety that it's been kind of this constant companion for me. This has helped me to stop, to breathe, and then the focus, and almost like fear casting of saying, okay, if the worst happens, would I still figure out how to get up tomorrow and continue with life? It's been super helpful for me to not live my life focused on trying to avoid thinking about fear, because I'm already thinking about it. And at least now I'm learning how to acknowledge it, to stop, take a few steps, breathe, and then focus my attention and say, okay, so my fear obviously wants me to feel paralyzed, but you know what? I'm going to figure this out and I'm going to be okay. So that's this week's episode. Hope it's helpful for you as we jump into the 2020 decade. Go ahead and like this video. And even if you think of somebody that you know that struggles with anxiety, why don't you send them the link to this video? Comment below on what are some ways and tools and tricks that you found helpful in dealing with anxiety in your life, And as always, subscribe. Let's keep the party going. Have a great week, and we'll see you next week with the Paris edition.